look at this. Look at this trade. Second overall pick for Miles.
Yo, we're live.
It's bright as hell.
Let's see how it sounds. See if we can.
What's up, guys? Getting the draft turned on.
You just turn this off, right? You can do it after.
What?
Actually, I guess
The Xbox?
Draft's online.
So, we were doing a.
Sounds good.
Hold on. Drew's intently focused. Okay, we were doing a franchise, essentially, because for whatever reason, 2K22 next gen thought that play now wouldn't be a good idea. So, which it is. I don't know why that they did away with it, but who knows? We were doing the Bulls, and we ended up being pretty bad. Even though we got Rudy Gobert and DeJounte Murray on our team. I'm not really sure how that works, but it happened. So we ended up getting the number 2 overall pick, if I'm not wrong.
What would it say?
Can you not hear me?
No, I was making sure it sounded good.
Okay. Let me get my camera here. Yeah, let me get over here because you're in that vicinity of the camera, so I'm gonna get over here.
You're on the draft, right?
Yeah, we're on the draft. So, is anyone even in this? I don't think they are. Oh, one person's in. I think it's probably you.
I'm not on it anymore.
Oh. Anyway, so Ryan, let's discuss a little bit. Who is going to go first overall tonight? In your humble opinion.
My humble opinion. Who do I want or who do I think?
Well, either one. You also got your right there.
I think Paolo.
You think he should go?
I think he should go number 1.
Will he though?
Probably not.
I mean, it's possible.
It is a Brooklyn state of mind here at the 2022 NBA Draft.
All right, yeah. So it's either Paolo or that's who I want. I don't think Chet goes number 1.
I doubt it. There were talks at one point,
He kind of,
but
his odds fell off too.
well, he didn't play well this season, and neither did Jabari, particularly. I mean, he played well during the season, but during the playoffs, I don't know how. I don't think that's necessarily super scrutinized, though. So.
But my dad saw something. Oh, that's my son. Something my mom.
That's our son.
It's a blue chip. Possibly the number 1 pick in the NBA draft. How good was I? I found out on play night. And so did everyone else. That's my son.
That's our son.
As I got older, the dream became my own. And I knew who I wanted to be.
Okay, phone is getting turned off because Shams is gonna ruin it for everyone.
You can just turn the Twitter notifications on.
That's what I'll do.
Yeah, I don't have.
Because I have my watch on.
I don't have notifications on for
Amazing ones.
JPA basketball.
Do you even follow Shams or
No,
Woj? Do you follow
I
Woj?
follow Woj. I think.
Great practice. It's shot. No matter where you're from or what you've been through, there will be pressure and doubt.
Yo, what's up, Evan?
What's up, buddy?
But whoever you call family,
I don't know.
Can't answer that.
with enough love,
Who
nothing
is
you can't do.
Victor Wembanyama?
Oh,
He seriously probably is in Paris. What about the dude?
This is the day.
Who am I thinking of? Rudy
I
Gobert?
can't believe
Yeah.
I'm here.
the French.
I was just a kid who loved to play. But my family,
Let's be real. Steph Curry's a
they saw
bust
something.
of all time.
For sure. Did you make sure to Put the link on the Instagram.
Yeah.
Post the link on the Instagram. You can actually, you know what? I can probably share it from here. Oh no.
Draft presented. About this draft is just how much talent we have at the top. Jabari Smith,
Oh, is it not going to let me now?
out of Auburn. Might he be hearing
Just
his
copy
name
it from
called number one, or
Well, it had like a cool little thing. Yeah, it had a cool little thing. That's fine. Just do a
I mean, I
post.
have the link on.
Just do a post and be like, yo, we're live on YouTube. Okay, that's awful.
Let's get this
What
party
is
started.
Yeah, so Paolo was wearing, that's awful.
Good evening, and
It's
welcome
time,
to the
y'all.
2022
It's time.
NBA Draft at Barclays Center, home of the Brooklyn Nets and the WNBA's New York Liberty. Speaking of the WNBA,
Oh my gosh.
let me take a
Don't
moment
say
to
it.
recognize that today is the 50th anniversary of the enactment of Title IX, a historic law that
You're talking
increased
about Brittany
access
Griner, bro.
to women's sports and in large part paved the way for the creation of that league. This milestone is an opportunity to both celebrate the progress we've seen over the past 50 years and acknowledge that there's still much more work to do to elevate women's sports at every level. To our NBA fans here in the arena and around the world, thank you for making this past season our 75th
You get
anniversary,
COVID the other day?
one of the most meaningful in our league's
Well, he got
history.
exposed.
Oh yeah, I heard he
Following a
wasn't going to
highly
be.
competitive regular season and a hard-fought finals, let me congratulate the Golden State Warriors on winning their 4th championship in 8 years.
They're getting booed.
A lot has changed in our country and world in the 3 years since the Warriors were last in the finals. But what has remained the same is the core of that Warriors team. That core was built through the draft. Steph picked number 7.
This dude can slobber all
Clay
over
number
the place.
11.
He's so much better than
selected
he's
number
so much better than
35,
Commissioner than Roger Goodell.
which underlines the importance of tonight for our teams as they look to assemble their own championship rosters. We can't close the book on last season without also recognizing the record 117 G League players who were called up and enabled us to keep going through spikes in COVID-19.
Why did they? Oh,
Thank you
Marjan.
to everyone at the
Because he played in
NBA
the
G
G League.
League. All
played
of
for
us
the
have been
Ignite.
impacted by
He's
some
in
way
22.
by this virus. As a society, we've had to
How long did they have in between
collectively
each
deal
pick?
with the effects
So my
of a
first time watching the
pandemic
draft in
that
like
have
2
been
years.
severe and far-reaching.
It's much shorter
The challenges.
than the
We
NFL
hope we
draft.
are able to help
It goes
bring
by
together
faster. They also
and
interview
create
each player,
a much-needed sense
which I
of
like
empathy and
personally better than the
community
NFL.
around our
The
game,
NFL doesn't do that really.
whether in our
I mean, they
arenas
do, but it's
or
like
virtually.
Not as much.
right. Like last,
And
they
after
like sit
3
down
long
with them and
seasons,
like have an
we're
interview.
finally
It's pretty
back
cool.
to our normal calendar, hosting our draft here in June as we officially turn the page on the 2022
Yeah, just
23
announce the
season.
freaking pick. Like,
Yeah, they're
The
not even
young
on the
men
clock
who will
yet.
hear their names called this evening have the chance to be among the next
They know something we
generation of
know.
stars in our
Where's this
league.
dude from?
who? Adam
Where
Silver?
will they
shit.
land?
Minnesota.
We're about to find out.
Actually,
Yes, he's not.
dude looks like
He's an American.
I'm just gonna stop talking.
The first pick in the 2022
No shot.
NBA draft belongs to the
Okay, I
Orlando
thought he was
Magic,
about to like.
who have 5 minutes to make
Okay,
their
Stop
selection.
that.
I thought bro was gonna be like
That roar you hear
with the first pick.
Orlando Magic.
Maybe he just announces it right out of the gate. All right, so we're on the clock. Ryan and I have already discussed who we think. I think Jabari, but we'll see.
It'll probably be Jabari.
They had Shaquille O'Neal, 1993.
Auburn was low-key disappointing this year, though.
And then a year later,
In the tournament.
94,
Fair.
y'all remember this little switcheroo, selecting Chris Webber, swapping him for Penny Hardaway. And then 11 years later, Orlando
There's
they
AJ
were
Griffin.
at
This
it
is the dude
again
Yeah,
with
there
the
we got
number 1 pick.
it.
You're sensing a little bit of a theme here. They have some experience in this department.
Jalen
They
Durant's pretty
selected
good.
a center. You can see it there, Dwight Howard.
You know who low-key
three-time
disappointed
defensive
this year?
player of the year.
What's his name?
He's laying
Memphis
Orlando
point guard.
on another final
Huh?
run in 2009.
No.
And
Oh,
Orlando again with the chance.
he's not a point guard. The money Bates.
Yeah.
Before we start
He's
could
a.
be that number 1 pick. I do want to check in with
He
our
transferred.
NBA insider,
Yeah,
Adrian
he's in the
Wojnarowski, to
portal.
find out what
I think he's going to
exactly
Louisville.
you're hearing, Woj, on who the Magic may select.
Malika, NBA teams are not prepared.
Woj always does that. Have you ever noticed
the
that?
top of this lottery
He goes-
to see the draft board blown up. I'm told that the Orlando
He always
Magic
does
are
it.
expected
He'll be
to
sitting and
select
he's just
Yeah, what the heck?
Paolo Banchero with the number 1 overall pick. Orlando's president
always
of
does
basketball
it.
operations, Jeff Weltman, ran
Y'all
one of
can't
the
see
great
unless you're actually
stealth
watching, but
pre-draft
Woj always,
predictions.
when
And
he's
I'm
sitting,
told
he
that
always.
Banchero now is the front runner and the likely choice
Who?
to be Orlando's
Really?
pick
That's a
at number
dub.
1.
Wow. All right. Paolo Banchero out of Duke, likely to be
If
the number 1 pick.
they
One of
keep
the
him
interesting
healthy
things about this draft is
with
just
whatever
how
he
much
needs to drink
talent
to
there
keep
is
his
at the
7
top.
pounds that he
It's
loses
begging this
every
question
game.
of the Orlando Magic.
It's
Hey,
gonna be.
That would be
who
so.
you got?
Let's
Who will you
truly
be
break this
picking?
down.
Might
Let's truly break it
be
down. If they got Paolo, right?
Holmgren that they could take. He's a
First
rim
of all,
protector.
it's a possibility
He has
Orlando's wanting it
perimeter
because they
skills.
know the Rockets want it.
Here's the thing.
And
Don't
so
let
they're gonna
his
try to
frame,
see
his
maybe
body
if
type
the
fool
Rockets
you.
will give
That
up
is
some
the
assets.
difference. Or could it be
For Paolo
Oscar
to trade
Jabari
up?
Smith Jr.? He's an elite jump shooter.
That's not a bad idea. You can
What
get
was
some
the
future assets.
storyline? I don't know which player, but there was a storyline where like the two players played in college together.
He's physical. He's an elite
Forgot.
scorer. So now we
I don't know
ask
if
the
it was
question:
Chet
who you
or
got,
Paolo.
Magic, and who you got, Jay?
I think it's the
Well, we
Magic.
talked
They have-
earlier about Jabari Smith being the
Forgot what it
number
was.
1 pick, the presumptive number
I'm trying
1
to think.
pick, or Chet Holmgren of Gonzaga. It seemed like teams had
Who went
moved
to
away,
Gonzaga?
and we had it slotted with Smith,
Chet went to Gonzaga.
Holmgren,
No,
and then Banchero going to Houston. But
It was Suggs. That's what it was. It was Jalen Suggs
before the
and.
draft even starts.
No, I'm
And
sure.
it was Banchero.
Here, what
So
else
if they
is-
take Banchero, now all of a sudden
Chet's a
Oklahoma
freshman.
City, do they have a choice to make between? They probably didn't expect that it was going to be Smith or Holmgren, number 2. So that is.
Well,
a big change.
okay,
Not
Jay
what we
Bilas,
thought it
because
was
the
gonna
pick
be.
hasn't been made.
But now exciting for
But
all
I
these
mean, it's
guys.
in, but it's
They
like
don't-
they
they
don't
don't
know
know
it. Yeah. So realistically, he's
Jaden
just
Ivey first overall.
Shaden Sharp first overall.
If he is
I had a
going
friend
number 1,
who
we talked about
thought
all
that
year that there were 3 guys
Shaden Sharp
worthy of
was
it,
the
and
number
those
one
3
overall
guys were
selection.
all worthy of it.
Well, guess
Talent
what, Jay? We
wise-
get to find out now. The pick is in, so let's go to Commissioner Adam Silver to find out who the Orlando
Here we
Magic
go.
select.
Second worst record in NBA, missed playoffs. Wow.
Surprise. I don't buy it yet. I don't buy it yet. So
I mean, they could go with Ivy, but probably not. They need a guard.
that'll be wild.
With the first pick in the 2022 NBA Draft,
Paolo.
the Orlando Magic select Paolo Banchero
Wow.
from Duke University.
Wow.
Damian's gonna be-
So this was not even in play.
I mean, I
thought it was
had
between Jabari and Jet. But Paolo? Okay. Good pick. Right? You can play Paolo at the 4.
Wow.
You put Jonathan Isaac at the
Paolo
5.
Banchero from Duke goes
Wagner at the
number
4,
1
or
overall
Wagner
to the
at the or
Orlando
3, excuse me.
Magic. You can see him hugging his
Suggs
family there.
and-
What a
and
special moment. He comes from a family
that's a
who
good
was with
5.
Mom, Rhonda
That's a
Smith.
solid
He
5
walked
because
into last season.
if you
That's
truly
his
think
debut
about it,
in 2000.
Jabari at the 4 would probably not. Him and Wagner or Wagner, I should say, are both shooters.
And he ran track
I
and field in high
just-
school.
I like
He
Paolo a
was
lot
an
too.
early bloomer. He continued to grow and ultimately he
I just think this was kind of out of nowhere. I mean, the odds were going up, right? The odds were kind of going up the past few days. But I didn't actually think Paolo would go first overall. So, if you're the Thunder,
Well, they are getting.
you take Jabari. You take Jabari if you're the Thunder. Like, there's no way.
It would be wild if my the five dudes I sent on Twitter, if they were the first 5 taken, like,
It was
Paolo, Jabari, Chet, and then Ivy.
I could see it going in that order.
And Paolo Banchero led Duke to a win over Gonzaga.
I did say
early in
keep
the
in
season
mind
where
those
he
aren't my
played
in order, but
here you see the physicality.
Would be,
of
though.
Banchero.
Yeah,
He
still.
can overpower defenders going to
Chet's
the
so
basket. He can take it one way, spin back with power. To
I'm not a hater. I'm just not
He
a.
can shoot it from the
lover.
perimeter. He can isolate in the mid post on the elbow.
It's just so
I think
good.
he can get better as a defender, but when you look at his defense, his pick and roll defense is in the 97th percentile on pick and roll.
Sorry, did I just say
Absolutely. And
Ben
when you look
Simmons
at
is
his play
pro?
across, he's a combination of Michael.
What?
Yo, what happened?
Oh, no. No, come on. No buffering. No buffering today. Please.
Beasley with his elite skill set for being able.
Oh God.
No.
And take up the space. He has that physicality that you was talking about, Jake, and that's what he is.
That's an interesting comparison.
Well, now he is standing by with our Monica McNutt.
I hate Johnny Davis too.
Why?
He's just not.
Hello, Mom Rhonda. Congratulations. Yesterday you told me you've been watching the NBA draft closely since 2010. Now that you're here and the number one pick, how does it compare to what you dreamed?
I don't even know what to say.
I think the pitch Jabari here no matter
I
what.
can't believe what just happened. Honestly, I never would have thought that this would happen. You know, I wanted to be in the NBA, but I didn't know I would be here, man. I really honestly
Ethan said
didn't.
W Street.
So
Let's
this is
go.
unbelievable, and I can't
Watching?
speak right now. I'm sorry.
Well, we'll give you a break from speaking because we have a little surprise from someone special to you.
It's Coach K.
Paulo,
I'm a genius,
congratulations.
dude.
I'm so happy for you and your family and the commitment you've made. You are, I think, the most versatile player in the draft.
Wait, so this
You
is
can
already
play
made?
anywhere on the court,
Probably.
and you're a winner.
Well, what if he
You're
didn't
gonna
go number one
tremendously
overall?
and
We didn't say
have a
number
terrific
one.
NBA career.
Yeah, he
No,
didn't
he
say.
didn't.
The
did.
legacy of Duke players drafted into the league and got to play for a legend. What did your experience as a Blue Devil teach you?
Taught me a lot, you know. Coach K, he really taught me, you know, how to really be a man, you know. Just being away from home, being so far from home.
What did
he
Damian
was
think?
there for me. You know, whether it was criticizing me, telling me
He
what I
better
was
be
messing up,
watching.
or complimenting me.
He said he
telling me
can.
how
He
I
wanted
was
us to
doing well.
keep
He was always there, and he's the greatest coach I ever had.
Before there was Coach K, there was your mom, Rhonda, who has joined us this evening. But we got to go back upstairs. Congratulations, Paulo. Congratulations, Mom Rhonda. We know you are his inspiration.
Thank you.
Monica, thank
Big Sam.
Monica, thank you so much. Just take another look at this moment between Paolo and his mom, Rhonda. She has
They
coached
know?
him.
Like-
she has been his
It
mentor.
was after the pick.
I know, but like, did they know beforehand? Because they're not really like shocked.
I mean, I think they call.
I mean, Duke, they
Just
have
like-
a little bit of experience.
That's
number
true.
one overall.
That's
he joins a very elite list of number one picks: Elton Brand, Kyrie Irving, and Zion Williamson
Zion's a
as
bust
Duke
until
players
proven
who have gone
otherwise.
number one overall. By the way, the 13th straight year that a freshman was selected first. The last non-freshman was Blake Griffin. That was back in 2009.
I would be so happy if Coach had falls. I just don't know where he
We
would
get to
play.
take a look at who else may be still left in the green room. There's a whole lot of guys hoping to still hear their name called as the night goes on. There is Jabari Smith Jr. out of Auburn. When might he be taken and drafted into
Wow,
the
ESPN is
NBA?
slow.
What an
Don't have to worry
exciting
about
night for so many guys.
They just now.
Absolutely. And look, this is what it's all about. It's not where you get drafted.
Hello?
It's just about getting drafted and getting your foot in the
I
door.
like this dude.
Like, you know, when you think about it, it's a dream come
It
true.
is.
And I know some
Where's
guys
parents?
may not get picked the number one pick. Some guys may not get picked in the lottery. But it's about getting in.
Have you heard him
Once you
talk?
get in, you get in and you make your presence.
Well, and now the Thunder, they have been on the clock. Their pick is in. NBA Commissioner
I
Adam
swear,
Silver is
man,
here
if
to
it
let
is
us know
Chet
who they picked.
Holmgren. Actually, either player isn't terrible. Here you go, Ryan.
With the second pick in the
Jabari.
2022
It
NBA
should be
draft,
Jabari.
It said
the Oklahoma
Chet.
City Thunder select Chet Holmgren
That's-
from Gonzaga University.
So the Rockets are getting Jabari? Are you kidding me? Dude, the Rockets could not wait. What if the Magic swap with the Houston to get more assets? They could do that. Like they did with Weber.
It's thrown around often, but it
That's
seems
what it
to say that
was.
it may be an accurate
Chet
description for
and,
Chet
Jalen
Holmgren.
Suggs.
How many
That's what I was
centers
thinking
can
of.
shoot a high
In high school
percentage
and
from
college.
three? Holmgren shot almost 39%.
I don't know how I
from
feel
the
about
arc.
I mean,
But they also
With
played
his
at
dad.
Kentucky.
And his
That's
dad
what I was.
actually filmed
That's why I
every
was-
one of his games since he was in 6th grade. And when he joined us on the set of NBA Today, he said that he wanted to be a 50, 40, 90 player in the NBA. It seems like he actually has a chance to be that, Jeff.
There's no question he has that chance. He's built for today's NBA. He's a good athlete, very fluid, and really, really skilled at 7 feet with a 7'6" wingspan. And he's got a very high basketball IQ. He's
It's so
really
good.
like a baby.
Yeah,
Giannis.
it's Caleb Munoz
He's
is calling me.
not a center. He's not a low post guy.
What?
He is a
Okay,
perimeter
let's-
player. You can see he's got a turnaround jumper. He's got a fadeaway. He's got that little jerk move. He hit over 40
weird when we
threes
get
during the
notifications.
season to go with over 100 blocks. There's been only 3 guys that have done that
So-
in the last 25 years. And clearly he can move his feet. He keeps his body
do you
away
feel?
from big, strong offensive
Interesting.
players that like to get into his
I don't like him.
operate and pick and roll.
I don't
both as a
dislike him,
screener and as a ball
I didn't like him
maker.
at 2.
He's the total package with open
You had him
ability.
at 4th best
And
player,
I
didn't you?
think he's very well suited
Guy,
for
he's better.
today's NBA.
His fingers are so
Shea
long.
Gilgeous-Alexander and Josh Giddey, but the question that NBA fans have out there, well, who's his game like, Big Perk? Tell us.
Well, I'll tell you, if Giannis Antetokounmpo
No
and
shot.
Kristaps Porzingis had
No,
a
you
baby,
did not
they
just
get
say
Chet
that.
Holmgren. Let's run the tape, and I explain why. When you think about it, he's a combination of the two. When I look at him, I see the Kristaps Porzingis in him.
No shot.
A
He
big
just said
that's
that.
able to stretch the floor. He has a nice post-up game, face-up game,
If he
turnaround
busts-
game, 15-footer. When you put him in the pick
I don't
and
see
roll,
any
he
Giannis.
can
I see
lift it
That's
up.
one of the
I see
worst.
some Porzingis. I don't see any KP
Lights out.
or any
When I
Giannis
look at
here.
him for us at the Giannis aspect, attack the downhill, taking up space.
I'll
If
see
he
it.
can get to Giannis's weight,
He's
maybe,
finishing at
but
the rim
he's
with a
190.
Why they had to have me in this clip. But this is who Chet Holmgren is. Do not let the body frame fool you. He's
I'm
mean,
looking.
he's
Who said
aggressive,
something?
and he's about
Your
that life.
dad's in the chat.
Absolutely. And look, you can see him shaking hands there with
He said, "Looking
Commissioner
good."
Adam Silver.
Chet Holmgren going 2nd overall. That's pretty crazy.
And look at Jabari's reaction here.
Oh,
He thought
Jabari's
maybe
not
he'd
happy.
hear his name called. Don't worry, young man. Your time is coming.
Yeah,
Might it be
32nd overall.
Houston that picks them because they are on the clock now. Now, the Houston Rockets, they were ready for liftoff the last decade. Remember, they made 8 consecutive playoff berths, 2 appearances in the Western Conference Finals. They had their 3rd best win percentage in the NBA. They were trailing only the Warriors and the Spurs. But then the 2020 offseason signaled a no-go for the championship mission. You know what happened. Russell Westbrook, James Harden, they both left in separate trades. They own the worst record in the NBA over the last 2 seasons. So I'm just going to get out of the way. They do it big in Houston. They do it big in Texas. Big Perk. You are from
Shot,
Texas. What do
dude.
the Rockets need here?
What?
You know what?
From
They need
his
Jabari
parents are-
Smith
well, his
Jr.
mom's
I think
not.
you
They
know
don't
you
know.
have a
His
great
dad's
piece
from
in Jalen Green, who they drafted last year, a guy that finishes the season strong. If you compare him up with a Jabari Smith Jr.,
Yeah.
the future is bright for the Houston Rockets. You have your foundation. We
John
heard Adam
Wall's a key
Silver
player.
talk about
All right.
the Golden State Warriors and how they built their dynasty and built their house through the draft. The Rockets have an opportunity tonight to continue to build
That's tough
their
that they fell to
house
3,
through the
though.
draft.
And they're getting a number
Having
1
worse
pick.
record.
I mean, there are 3 number 1 picks in this draft. If Oklahoma City had the number 1 pick,
I think they got the best player in my
number
opinion,
1.
though.
And clearly Orlando got who they wanted.
They got the 2nd best player at
And
least.
Houston's going to get a number 1 caliber pick if they decide to take Jabari Smith Jr. He's NBA ready.
You've been high on him for quite some time. As we've been chatting over the last couple of days, you have had so many good things to say about him. What makes you so confident?
Well, I don't think I'm the only one. I mean, he's an elite jump shooter and a guy who's 6'10". He's a really good athlete. He's a really hard worker, too. I mean, he's in the gym early, working out with his workout guy, working on his game. He's there before practice. I was there at Auburn several times, saw him out there hour and a half before practice even started.
Yep, he's getting the call.
He goes
He's going to
hard,
Houston.
and he's-
Jabari Smith's going to Houston, folks.
You know, with
He's
all
getting the call right now.
He can guard multiple positions. He can really do
So
it. I mean, he
unnecessary.
can guard multiple spots and take straight pride in it. But the fact that he's an elite jump shooter, shoots 42% for free.
So that's interesting,
I happen
though.
to think it's a
'Cause they don't
no-brainer
really
at this
have
spot.
a legit
Houston
center.
has to feel pretty fortunate.
So
that
maybe
Jabari
they'll get
Smith-
one, or they'll go with
I don't wanna say
Shingu.
fallen with
Right.
the 3rd pick. He hasn't fallen anywhere. 3rd pick in the draft is remarkable. But I think it's pretty fortunate for Houston to get this caliber player at 3. But they were going to get a high caliber player no matter what.
Right, Houston does not have a problem here, you could say. The Western Conference, though, it continues to be a tough conference to play in, Big Perk. In Steven Silas' system, how would you see someone like Jabari Smith fit?
Well,
It's
I
the best
think
center
it's
that's
all
gonna
about
be-
letting them play in the open court. And
Free
that's the
agent?
system
No,
that I
I
see when you talk about Coach Silas.
Mark Williams could be Walker Kessler,
You watch
probably.
Jalen Green, he was able to play freely. You watch, Kevin Porter Jr., they're able to be the best version of themselves. What Steve Silas come in at is that holding them accountable and getting the best out of them on the defensive side of things. He's a young, passionate coach, well-respected respected around the league by his peers and current and former players, and that's why he's
EJ
back, and
Liddell.
that's why I'm happy for the Rockets to pick Jabari Smith.
EJ Liddell?
He's
He's not a center.
right now.
Absolutely. Well, a pick is in. Let's see if you're
I'm sorry,
right.
I'm just looking at
Give it away.
best
Let's see if he's
available.
right. Let's
Could be
hear from
available
Commissioner
right
Adam Silver just to make sure.
With the third pick
Imagine
of the
it's like, nah, it's
2022
not
draft,
It's
Jabari.
gotta be.
the
It
Houston
is.
Rockets select Jabari
Yeah.
Smith Jr. from
Wow,
Auburn
did you make it any
University.
more obvious?
Hey, Kirk, you were right.
I love it. I love it.
It's so
Do they
good.
interview each other?
McDonald's All-American. He gets selected number
They did, then it
10
wasn't on screen.
overall. Sharing a moment with his family. His father,
I had Auburn winning it all,
Senior,
dude.
was drafted by the Kings.
Dude's not even
after
happy.
he bounced around to several NBA
He's going to the
teams.
Rockets.
I had a
Would you be
chance to
happy?
chat with him the other
It's like
day,
getting drafted by the
he shared this
Jags.
really wonderful story with me about how he's really
That
looking
bad.
to
They're
behave
pretty
in his
bad.
own way. He is forever humble, tattooed across
I mean-
his chest. You can see it right there. But he actually used to go to the Sandy Creek High School gym back in high school before the doors were even
Are we staying
open.
live just
He
for the
texted
lottery?
janitor
Just for lottery.
and said, hey, can you let me in? He'd have 4 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches in his backpack to fuel him throughout the day. He'd eat them then. He's the highest drafted
Highest
Auburn
drafted.
player in the common draft era. This is just a wonderful moment. You can see the handshake there. Jay, what are the Rockets getting?
Well, his shooting mechanics are impeccable. He can shoot it with a high release off the catcher, the dribble. He's got a mid-range pull-up. Shoots 42% for free. Hits 79 threes
Canadian.
on the season and can shoot it on the
He's good.
mid-post. He gets to his spots really well. He's got a fadeaway jumper.
All right, who's going here? Ivy or Murray?
He can drive it either way, and a lot of people talk.
I would
about
take
how he
Ivy
shot 43%
if I
overall
was-
in the season.
if I was
He's a
Sacramento.
finisher. He finishes
They just
at
don't need
61%
Keegan Murray because they
at the
have
rim. It's just a question of him getting to the
No, they don't
rim
need
more. But the offense,
But they could pull a Sacramento and take someone random.
system, and it wasn't always conducive to him getting to the rim.
Mark
and
Williams,
driving it.
Jalen Durham.
Fully capable. I think his defensive
Shaden
versatility
Sharp.
is
He's
something
good.
that
He's
Marcus
good, though.
has
That wouldn't
ability
actually be
to
that
guard
bad of a
multiple
pick.
positions, challenge at the rim, excellent defensive rebounder, and the fact that he's a
I love that they're putting
worker and
these
can hit
teams
those
didn't make the playoffs as if it wasn't obvious.
Right.
Smith at the NBA level.
I am too, and when I look at him, I
Sure.
see a combination of 2 players. For you old heads, Sharif Abdul-Rahim, right? Able to get to his spots, hell of a pump fake, and get into the basket downhill. And then for the younger generation, he has a little bit of Kevin Durant in this game, shooting 42% from the 3 this past season.
See, I agree with Burke on that one.
And being able to finish at the basket because of his length and his athleticism.
Jabari Smith Jr., he is headed to Houston. But a team that is on the clock now is a team that his dad played for in the Sacramento Kings. So let's take a little look at what Sacramento has been doing over the last couple of years, right? They acquired DeMontis Sabonis from Indiana. That
It might
was
just be a TV delay, but
piece for them. And then they missed the
Picks
playoffs,
up.
right? They had the 16th straight season that they've missed.
So
That's the
they'll
longest
be
active drought in the
minute
NBA
30.
currently. But it's been a big week for them. They're on the clock right now. They introduced head coach Mike Brown as their new coach of this team, of this franchise. I want to check in with our Bobby Marks and Adrian Wojnarowski for more on Sacramento.
Malika, Sacramento Kings, they're focused on Iowa's Keegan Murray here at
Dude,
number
what is
4.
wrong
There's a
with
lot
Woj?
of expectation that
dislike
this is a
Woj.
spot where Jaden Ivey would go in
Dude,
this draft.
just
And now the
stop
possibility
talking.
of Ivey dropping down to number 5
I'm about
to
to
the
mute the
Detroit
TVs.
Pistons. There were a number
Dude's
of
making
trade
me mad.
discussions with Sacramento.
He'd probably tell you who the Bulls
Teams
are
all
taking
up
at
and down
18
the
too.
lottery. But
It's all
Keegan
scripted.
Murray is their focus. And now suddenly, Detroit perhaps has the opportunity to select Jaden Ivey or perhaps even trade down and somebody else maybe jumps up to number 5.
Okay,
And
see.
remember, Jaden Ivey's a player who did not
I'm
go
gonna
to
be so
Sacramento and
angry if
worked
you
out.
just like
There were no
spoil
medicals
that,
there.
He did.
So when you look at from Sacramento's perspective, certainly that does
So
become
why
a
don't the
little
Mavs
bit of
have
a
their
concern.
first?
But
Trade it
they're
for
looking
Christian
at
Wood.
a guy that can come in
Oh.
right now and Keegan Murray that can play right
What about
away.
their second?
If Jaden Ivey
Wizards
is that guy for
for
Detroit, maybe at
Dinwiddie.
5, they've got a steal right there.
With Porzingis, because his
Thank you so
contract's
much.
terrible.
Hey, Billis, for those who maybe aren't as familiar with Keegan Murray's game, what do you like about him?
everything. They should be familiar because Keegan Murray might have been the best overall player in the country last year on both ends of the floor. He went from a year ago averaging about 7-8 points a game to averaging 24. And I think he's the most efficient player in this draft and the most NBA ready to plug in right now.
Absolutely. Well, Sacramento, their pick is in. Let's hear from NBA Commissioner Adam Silver to see who the Sacramento Kings will be taking.
I love the music before the pick.
With the fourth pick in the
Keegan Murray.
2022 NBA Draft, the Sacramento Kings select Keegan Murray from the University of Iowa.
Y'all sleeping on my man, Jaden Ivey.
Keegan Murray becomes the highest drafted Iowa player in the common
Iowa's
draft
not good.
era.
I don't like that fit.
Sharing it all with his family.
You put Sabonis
as
at
he
5.
walks to the stage.
That's awful.
Keegan Murray, he actually grew up in Iowa,
I mean,
in Cedar
can he
Rapids,
play
in
in
East
small
Iowa.
forward at all?
It's a town with a
Keegan
population
Murray?
of just
He
over
probably could.
130,000,
He's not
a lot of
that big.
cornfields. Balling at Iowa.
He's
runs
not
the
really,
family.
though. He's
His
more of a
father,
big,
Kenyon, also played
I
at
think.
Iowa and is
We'll watch his
third
highlights and
all-time
see,
in
but-
steals, but that's not where the family stops. He was teammates with his identical twin brother Chris. And his younger siblings are athletes too. His mom was a collegiate golf player, and then last year he made a case, as Jay mentioned, to be the best player in college basketball. He increased his scoring from 7 points per game his freshman year.
It's
So
not
his
that
mom was a college
23
golf
his
player.
sophomore year. You can
So
see
yeah,
him
that's the reason he's in
shaking
the
hands with
NBA.
Adam Silver. Jay, you touched on it. Elaborate a little bit more, please, on what you like about Keegan Murray.
Well, we mentioned, Malika, his efficiency. He led the NCAA in player efficiency rating at about 38,
Benedict is
which
going
is a
off the board.
gigantic number. He's NBA ready right now. His basketball IQ is tremendous. Very smart. He's got a great
I think
feel.
maybe he
He's
could play
really
3.
good
He'd be a
read.
big 3,
And he
though.
pursues the ball. He's not going to be an Instagram sensation, but because he's not like the spectacular dunker and all that stuff, even though he dunks a lot. But he does the smart play every play, and he does it over and over again. At the end of the game, he's got spectacular numbers. He can handle it. He can change speeds. He drives it either way to the point of seeming ambidextrous, and he shoots 40% from 3. So he's a good shooter. He's excellent out of the post. He's in the 99th percentile out of the post in the mid-post.
Pascal
Absolutely.
Siakam.
And I like him. He reminds me a little bit of Pascal Siakam. You know, able to take advantage of little guys when he has the mismatch, has the size and length, knows how to play his role at times, plays off the ball well, active
So,
in the
Detroit's
you know,
gonna get
defenses on the defensive side,
Yeah, a
turning
big
it
backcourt.
into transition points. And that's what I like about Keegan Murray is his size, his athleticism,
Justin
along
Holiday
with
just
his
lost his,
IQ and his feel for the game.
And he's got great hands. He catches everything.
Holiday's
He
trash.
mentioned the deflections he gets. He may not be the most
Sabonis at the
dynamic
5 is
in front of
interesting.
people, but he makes
We'll see how that rolls.
And he
I don't
always
know
is in the right position. He talks. He's got everything. It's just not he's not the spectacular athlete that's going
How
to jump
fast
off the
this is.
page. But when you look at the page at the end of the game, he's scratched at every
I think it's
point
Ivy here.
category.
Do you like the way
And Ivy.
I do. Especially
Ivy and
alongside
Cunningham,
De'Aaron
that's
Fox,
wild.
right? The Kings have
That's-
showed us that they're committed to
duo.
him, and that
But they did trade
De'Aaron
Jeremy
Fox is
Grant
their
yesterday.
franchise player. Why not add a wing? The wing is the most important position in the
basketball
NBA.
right now?
Think about it. The
I don't know
Golden
about that,
State
man.
Warriors won because of Andrew Wiggins and the way that he was able to play defensively and offensively. No more what the Lakers had, those cook wings. You need those young wings that sit in the sink that's raw, that's seasoned, that's ready to go into the
LeBron
oven.
needs
The
to
barbecue
retire.
wings, the buffalo wings, if you will.
No more cooked wings. I don't want the wings that's been out on the stove all night.
Okay, I understand. All right, let's go to Detroit because they are currently on the clock. So Cade Cunningham, obviously, he was drafted #1 overall last year. Detroit, they're still trying to figure out how to crack the East. It's become a tougher conference with Boston dominating, with the Milwaukee Bucks dominating. The Brooklyn Nets are hopeful. But let's take a look at exactly where the Detroit Pistons are now. So Cade Cunningham, all rookie first team this last season, but less than 25 wins for the
That's
third
wild.
straight season. Remember, there's head coach Dwayne Casey. The projected second most cap space this offseason. So might we see, actually it's the most after the trade, so might we see them add a star caliber player along with their pick here?
I could.
Absolutely. And I think the
Will
guy
be-
that stood out to me
If he gets to pick where he goes, that dude's going to it.
Oh, yeah, he's on the phone.
Dude,
Why are they showing it?
He's really
Ivy's on the phone.
forward type player. Not only can he get his, but he's great at facilitating for others. And I know Troy Weaver, last year he was very, very high on Jalen Green, right? He loved his athleticism.
I don't know how Ivy fell this one. Ivy on the Pistons
and
is
now
going to
he
be crazy.
actually has a chance to actually get a somewhat version of Jalen Green in Ivy.
Well, obviously, we saw, as Adrian Wojnarowski reported, the departure of Jeremy Grant for the Detroit Pistons. He's on his way to the Portland Trailblazers. So there's a little bit of room there for the Pistons to add some more veteran presence to go along with their young court group.
Yeah, and one name comes to mind, DeAndre Ayton, right? Another man's trash is another man's treasure. And when we talk about DeAndre Ayton, we're talking about a guy that could average 20, 10, and 3 blocks in this league. We're talking about a guy that is everything that you want in that power forward / center position. And I think Troy Weaver has his eyes on.
That's going to be an interesting backcourt.
That's why he made room for him, and he's only 23.
That's going to be an extremely interesting backcourt.
That you could put him in right with the young core that you already have.
But if they do end up going with Jaden Ivey with this pick, why does he fit for an NBA-ready team that's hoping to crack that drought for them?
I mean, if you're going best available player, I think this is the best available player, number 5, and I don't think there's much question about it. You know, Jaden Ivey's the best athlete in this draft.
Right.
I mean, he's the best athlete in this draft. You mentioned Troy Weaver, like Jalen Green's athleticism. If he likes athleticism, Jaden Ivey's got it.
I think that might make a little bit of sense in Detroit. Detroit basketball. All right, the pick is in. Let's get it to NBA Commissioner Adam Silver.
Wow. Again, make it more obvious for us.
With the 5th pick in the 2022 NBA Draft, the Detroit Pistons select Jaden Ivey from Purdue University.
Who would have thought? It's almost like they.
It's my guy. It's my guy. I love Jaden Ivey.
This right here, Kendrick Perkins, is what it is all about.
Absolutely. Like, let it out. Let it out, young fellas. This is about the journey. This is the necessary sacrifice.
4-star recruit. That's my boy.
To get to this point, to have your name called.
Well, and the first person that he hugged was his mother. And I just want to shed a little bit of light on their story. Ivy was raised by his mom, who played in the WNBA. She's now the head coach of the Notre Dame women's team. And he'll tell you they watch a lot of film together. They spend a lot of time together. She works with John Morant.
Damn it, I saw the 6 pick.
He models his game after. But that time that he put with mom, look at her, making sure she captures every single moment.
They're still on the clock.
And having his moment on the stage.
It's an interesting pick. I'll say that. I don't know how I feel about it.
They're still on the clock, so I don't know how that's possible.
Man, you gotta love it. This is what it's
got
all
another
about.
notification, and it was the same person.
This is it. This is what it is all about. Here are some of those
JPA
moments we were mentioning Jaden and Niele Ivey.
What is that?
He's the second.
Amon Kamara is bracing for a 6-game suspension for the incident that happened during
92 years. But really, the story, the connection between him and his mom as a coach, as a player, it's just so wonderful. Who has coached him to become Jay?
Well, a dynamic and explosive guard who is great in transition. His speed is remarkable.
Watch this man.
In the open floor, he's fantastic. He can change speed.
You're watching
He's
play?
got a gear that very few players have. It's John Morant type speed and explosiveness with Dwayne Wade type length.
Just don't watch college
basketball.
basketball.
Over the last year, catch and shoot.
Yeah.
He can get his own, and he's got deep range. He doesn't shoot a great percentage, but he can run off screens and makes good reads and cuts with great speed. And when he gets downhill, forget it.
And we talked about his mom coaching John Morant. This guy has John Morant written all over him. When you talk about a dynamic
John Morant and
guard that can get to the basket and finish above the rim, a guy that's real quick and
John Morant's hyping himself up so much. Have you seen this social media run he went on?
Let you know about it.
No,
that's the thing I love about the kid, Ivy. John Morant.
Well, it's not really a
That's
surprise
dude's
that he's
last name.
compared to John Morant. I mean, look at him, his mom. I said
for
it
the
before, but I will say it again.
Warriors,
He was an assistant coach
Jordan.
with the Memphis Grizzlies. I just want to reiterate, as we continue to celebrate Title IX and the strides women have made,
Jonathan.
that it is still rare
I'll watch
to
that
see
too.
that. And so, shout out her.
Yeah, he like
and shout
tweeted
out Jaden
something.
Ivey. I
And
just want
John's
to take
like,
a look
earn
at
your
this
stripes
moment
first,
again.
little bro.
Because this, I can't say it enough.
So you too, John.
This is what it's about. It is not just a player getting drafted into the NBA. It is a journey the entire family is going on. That is the look of a proud mother, of a proud parent who says, you know what, baby, that's a job well done.
Absolutely.
And this, Malik, is, I think, where the draft gets really interesting.
Yeah.
Because I do think most observers and most basketball people had this top five. It might have been in a different order, but this was the five we expected to be gone by now.
Because then,
What happens next, I think, is really a crapshoot. Because there are
In the
number,
best way.
there are a number of different.
tweeted it and said it.
There are a number of different things that are going to happen here that we haven't anticipated.
Yeah.
And there are a number of
they weren't
different
even
ways
on the
teams
clock
can
by
go.
the time you saw it.
I think this is where the draft really starts.
So if the draft really starts here and you put on your GM hat, who are you liking as the best available?
Well, you got Jaden Sharp for Kentucky, who's the mystery man. We haven't seen him play in 8 or 9 months in 5-on-5 play.
Yep.
But
So is he injured or
They
just
can really shoot it.
opted out?
Dyson Daniels out of the G League, who is a spectacular defender. Ben
Dyson
Matheran
Daniels.
from Arizona, who Woj reported yesterday, but he was being looked at in the top 5 a couple days ago and throughout the draft process. So there are a number of different ways that you could go with this number 6 pick.
Well, guess what? The pick is in, so we get to find out which of those best available will no longer be available. Let's send it back over to the commissioner to see who Indiana is picking.
Did you see who it was?
With the 6th pick in the 2022 NBA Draft, the Indiana Pacers select Benedict Matheran
I don't like it.
from Montreal,
I don't like
the
it.
NBA Academy Latin America, and the University of Arizona.
I like Matheran, but like,
Gotta make sure the pick
Not at
is done
6.
upright.
kind of a reach.
It's a
Yeah.
big moment
Could have gone with
for
Shaden Sharp.
Matheran and his family. What do they say, Jay? Bear down?
Bear down, baby.
Yeah, bear down.
Baby.
Woo!
Ben Matheran, he's a talented scorer. He actually grew up in Montreal.
I follow
His
the
parents
bear
there
down
are from
hashtag
Lee.
on
He
Instagram, and all I
attended
see is
Academy in
Arizona
Mexico
stuff.
City. Initially, and I thought this was really interesting, he struggled with the language barrier and communicating with his teammates. At the NBA, it's becoming increasingly international.
So he was born in
Now
Canada,
he
played in
speaks
Mexico.
Spanish, French,
Now he's
Haitian
playing in
Creole,
America.
along with English. He was the Pac-12 player
I
of the year.
guess.
I don't know. That might be my
Said he
favorite
played
thing that I've
Mexico.
seen all night. That's pretty good.
He was born in
You
Montreal.
said it was raining outside.
You gotta get an umbrella for that.
I don't know, Banchero's purple rain suit, pretty good.
Yeah, I like that. That's the bling. That's all right. Top 2.
What?
We'll get back to that at the end of the night. Suit aside, what do you like about him, Jen?
Well, he's a shot creator and a shot maker. Shot 37% from 3. His true shooting percentage was over 57%. Another guy with really good
All right, who's
speed,
next?
especially in
Matheran's
transition.
good, though.
He
Don't get me
moves
wrong.
well without
He's
the
a lead
ball. He's an
defender.
excellent cutter. And I think
What's this
Tommy Boyd's
comparison?
offense was perfect for Ben
I don't think
Matheran.
he has a bad shot,
for cuts.
though.
He's in the 86th percentile in scoring off of cuts in college basketball last year. And he's a good defender, good pick and roll defender, and a guard rebounder. Averaged just about 6
He's a big
rebounds
boy,
per
though.
game.
Like, he's gonna
last
be really
year
good
for
for anyway.
Arizona. He reminds you a little bit of Garrett
Okay.
LeVert, but you got another comparison.
Absolutely. I got OG and Ginobili.
Dude, Bert can never pronounce anyone's name right. Modi Moses.
Being able to
Last year.
spot up and shoot
Modi
threes, but
Moses.
also being able to somewhat be a two-way player on the wing position. We talk about how important that wing is.
My mom texted me and said, "You have a hoodie, you always have that one on."
OG Anunoby, not Moses Moody.
Why are you wearing a hoodie in those?
Modi Moses.
Feels comfy.
Benedict Matheran taken by the Indiana Pacers. And the party isn't just happening here in Barclays Center. It's also happening in Mexico.
I recognize that guy on the bottom
Attended
right.
the NBA Academy. So the party is going global. The party is going global for him.
Just Mexico.
Here's behind the scenes with Paolo Banchero, who was taken #1 overall. I think you might be right, Jay. That's a pretty good suit. Yo quiero Banchero. We will have more of the NBA draft
Where's he
coming up after this.
Paolo? I would assume America. But Mexico probably. His name's suspended.
What's up? This is Jaden Ivey, and this is my first connection. I fell in love with the game watching my mom coach women's college basketball. I'm traveling more now than I ever have, so I definitely stay connected with my mom.
It's fitting that you're getting drafted to the Anniversaries.
The opportunity that Title IX afforded my mom as a player and then as a coach provided me with the backdrop to where I fell in love with this game.
There's no way, Chowder.
Whoa.
Yo, you gotta be kidding me. Unbelievable.
That is what you call a wicked shot.
Rack them up, shot down.
So random.
Stealth mode?
Yeah.
Don't PTA meetings end at 9?
Bro got lost.
Wait.
The Lexus RX, built for modern families.
Paolo's Italian.
Really?
Yeah. Born in Seattle. He's Italian.
Try Taco Bell's new.
Whatever the oldest player in the draft
is.
What if they told you you changed the game?
Coach's up there.
I think it's Buddy Beta.
What if they said you bring a franchise back to college?
Where is he projected?
What if they said you'd be the newest Magic guy?
Or what position? I should say.
What if they said no matter where your name appears on this board, the future is yours to create?
You said Buddy, what?
It's your playtime! Wow, Alex and Julia, so fast, so strong! YoPlay, with calcium to help build strong bones and play long.
Well, I hope Isaiah Brockington gets
iPhone
drafted.
13 on us for every customer. Current, new, everyone. To show the love.
You
I
make
didn't know he was in
vacations fun, and we make booking them easy. Find your perfect place to stay. Booking.com. Yeah.
You're canceled, Cardboard Crust. What's up, non? Stonefire. Be a nonconformist.
Nice.
It's okay, I got it too, I think. Oh, no.
You can get it. Yeah. Sounds about right.
Fair.
NBA Draft 2022 is presented by State Farm. For surprisingly great rates, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I mean, he's best available right now.
Welcome back to the 2022
I could go with Agbaji, though.
I just want to see some trades.
Trailblazers were on the clock.
Yeah, dude,
Let's
nothing's
see what
happening.
friend Mike Schmitz and company picked.
I mean, it's only a 7th pick, but
With the 7th
we had some
pick
picks
in
before we stopped
2022
streaming the
NBA
NFL
draft, the Portland Trailblazers
Shaden
select
Sharp.
Shaden Sharp
I hate
from
that.
London, Ontario, and the University of Kentucky.
I like Shaden Sharp, but I don't like that pick for Portland. It doesn't make any sense.
I mean, he was the best player available, but
Sure, but he's a project.
so now best player available is
Back-to-back. Shaden Sharp,
Dyson
though,
Dane.
fascinating
or
journey.
Jalen Durant.
Allow me to introduce Shaden Sharp because the 19-year-old
What
has been
the-
this season's true man of mystery. He's international. He's from London, but no, not that London. London, Ontario, home to a wide range of famous Canadians. You can see some of them there. And basketball, it's Sharp's bag. So for his sophomore year of high school, he went to Bel Air. Not that Bel Air, Kansas. But after a year, he transferred. He took the jumbo jet west to Glendale, Arizona. Became the national #1 ranked high school prospect. And then he burst onto the scene at Kentucky. Sort of. You can see his measurements there, but he didn't actually play at Kentucky. He practiced, so we're talking about practice, and that's when scouts, they came to see him there.
So this dude's getting drafted
Now,
without playing in college.
exactly
That's wild.
who are we getting? We can see him there taking his hat. heading to Portland, shaking hands with Commissioner
He's got a
Adam
good
Silver.
agent.
But I mentioned that he's a man of mystery, Jay. Kentucky fans hadn't seen him play in a game, so who exactly are the Trailblazers getting?
Well, they didn't see him play because he reclassed from the 2022 high school class to go to college in January.
Jeremy,
He was the number one player in that
Associate.
2022 high school class. He's a 6'6" wing.
He's
got a
so
7
good, though.
foot
Like I
wingspan.
said, he's a top 5
And
player.
when I go to see Kentucky practice, I was supposed to be watching the team, and I was transfixed watching Shaden Sharp work out on his own with a coach on the side.
I just don't know.
Damon Shaden, though, does sound pretty crazy.
I just don't know how he'll translate
He's a high wire axe that can get up
from
off the
high
rim,
school
but
to
he can also really shoot it. He's got an excellent stroke, great range on his shot. There you can see the explosive that he's got. You mentioned he plays for the Canadian national team. He's just wired to score, but great potential and a really high ceiling on him as a super talented wing.
There's honestly no one I want unless it's Coach
I mentioned that he's from London, but not London, England, London, Ontario. So that means, look, multiple Canadian-born players drafted in the same lottery. Benedict, Matheran tonight, and Shaden Sharp join a slew of other guys that you can see on their screen there. Shaden Sharp, once again, he is headed to Portland to team up with Dame Dalla, Damian Lillard. It'll be interesting to see how they all fit and gel there. But speaking of Portland, but not exactly speaking of Portland, we have the New Orleans Pelicans. They're on the clock with the number 8 pick. And so the Trailblazers, right? CJ McCollum departed the Blazers. He is now with the Pelicans. What do you like here first?
You know,
I think this was the Lakers pick at one point, wasn't it?
Continue to add depth for as young bigs. I believe that they could.
That's where they would have
that they could develop.
Yeah.
You know, I like the kid.
I think
Jalen
they
from
get
Duke.
Johnny Davis
You know, I think
or
he would fit well with the
Dyson
Pelicans.
Daniels.
This is growth. You know, coming in and
I would like
Willie
it.
Green has done an exceptional job. CJ McCollum has came in and been that leader that they needed, that voice in the locker room with his play on and off the floor. So when I think about the Pelicans, I think they can't go wrong with a big at this moment.
Oh, when I think about the Pelicans, you know who I think about?
Zion.
I think about Zion Williamson. I mean, like that's who we have to think about. Obviously, we didn't see a whole lot of Zion Williamson recently. He's been recovering from that foot injury, Kendrick Perkins. To you, I mentioned
He's
it
just
earlier.
a monster,
the
though.
West is just so incredibly stacked, but with the core of
He wanted to play it, but they wouldn't let him play.
Zion Williamson.
You see that, like,
not to
video of
mention
him?
Brandon Ingram. How do you see them faring in the West this year?
You know what? They're going to be a force to be reckoned with. If they can stay healthy, we watched what they did the last part
Can't we
of the
say that with
season.
any team?
We watched Brandon Ingram take that leap as a young superstar. And we know what Zion Williamson is capable of doing. If he comes back and he's the Zion that we saw before the injury, they're going to be a real problem in the Western Conference.
Not to mention, we saw them. I was at that game when they got out of the play-in tournament, when they made it into the playoffs. The energy that they had, the electricity that they had. This is a team that does not want to be messed with. They want to go out and have something to prove. But what's the missing piece for them here, Jay? Who do you see them taking?
Well, if they want a big guy, Jalen Durham of Memphis is the next guy I would have on the board. You know, if you're looking for a shot blocker, Mark Williams is still on the board. But there are a number of ways they can go. I mean, Dyson Daniels from out of the G League is an excellent defender.
Absolutely, and they have a couple of excellent defenders on that team. Mr. Steal Your Ball is on that team. Hey, you can't have too many good defenders. The pick is in. Let's send it to Commissioner Adam Silver once again.
Ty Washington.
That would be dumb. You
With the 8th pick in the 2022 NBA Draft, the New Orleans Pelicans select Dyson Daniels
It's a good pick.
from
They need a
Benedict,
point guard.
Australia, the NBA Global Academy in Australia, and the NBA G League's Team Ignite.
I like that a lot because you have a good backcourt.
Dyson Daniels
Him and CJ.
headed to New Orleans.
You have the scorer, you have the defender. I like it.
Headed into our next conversation for sure. At 15, he was playing for the NBA Global Academy in Australia alongside Thunder guard Josh Giddey. He grew up around basketball. His dad played for NC State. He was actually deciding between the G League Ignite and the NBL, and it was a little bit of a surprising decision. He went to the Ignite. When he got there, he had to adjust to the physicality of the game a little bit right there. But he wound up leading the Ignite in assists and steals. What exactly exactly are we going to see from him in the NBA?
Well, you mentioned it. He's an NBA-ready defender, leading the G League Ignite in assists and steals, as you mentioned. He can handle it. He rebounds at a high rate at 17 rebounds in a G League game earlier this season. But he can guard multiple spots. And his matchup, he held his matchup to 37% from the field. He's a good handler, and he's a very good passer. He's got good vision.
Dude, what a backcourt duo, though. What a backcourt duo, him and CJ. You got the shooter, and you got the... I like him a lot. I think the Pelicans are really good next season.
When he came out of Washington, but he's actually a little bit bigger than 5'0". He's not focused on offense because he's such a good team player, but I think he's a good offensive player. He's just not a guy that's wired to score and looking to score all the time.
I didn't know they had that many.
Defensive chops, he's ready to defend.
I want to see some trades, bro.
I want to see the defensive standoff between him and Jose Alvarado. I want to see that go down big.
And that's in Herb Jones. And again, look, they're loading up at the wing position. And with like all the offensive firepower that the Pelicans have, this is a pick that they actually.
Bulls are active and both move up and move down discussions, but nothing was
You
getting
don't know
traction.
if a guy's going to get in foul trouble come postseason time because they will be in the postseason. But you want to groom them and slowly bring them along.
They're eyeing to stay in the first round while also picking up another asset.
Absolutely. Hey, you got to trust the process. Don't rush the process. But I mentioned that this is sort of a different path that we're seeing more and more guys take, going through the G League in order to get to the NBA now. So in the last 2 years, we've seen a couple of top 10 guys be drafted through the G League Ignite. Your guy, Jalen Green, NBA champion. Put some respect up his name, Jonathan Kuminga.
Played maybe 5 minutes, right?
Well, the G League Ignite is a little bit different than the G League overall. These young prospects now have different choices to make.
It's
And
just
the
like
idea
another
that you can't develop in the G League has always been wrong. Because
I think
all
it's
you're
better.
doing
They
is
get paid
basketball, and you're doing it on an NBA
I think
level with
it's better.
NBA coaching. I still think college is the best way to go.
Well, he
But with
disagrees
Overtime
with you.
Elite, the G League Ignite,
Overtime Elite's
there
good,
are
too.
other options for development.
Overtime Elite.
And it's
Is there anyone
proven
in
that it
Overtime
works.
Elite in the draft?
And we're seeing guys getting drafted. We'll see how they do in the NBA. You mentioned Jonathan Kuminga
They get
and
paid
Jalen
lots of money,
Green.
though.
Those guys have done very well very early, but we're going to see how this goes. It just gives players another solid
this dude?
option to develop as an NBA player.
Well, Jonathan Kuminga in particular,
Usman
the entire
Dane.
system that he was put
What?
into that allowed
Usman
him to
Dane.
succeed at this
Is that
level.
who they
I know
took?
you're a big
No.
fan of Jalen Green. What have
You
you
don't know
seen
who
as the
Usman Dane
difference,
is?
perhaps the secret sauce for your wings, if you will, that the G League Ignite or the G League provides?
Well, I think
Apparently
you're
ESPN
going
doesn't
against
give a-
grown men, right? So when you're in the G
Did
League
he
and
get
you're
drafted?
playing against other professionals, you're going against guys.
It's the
that's
third best
actually
available on
trying to get
ESPN.
their contracts
He's
into
pretty
the
good.
league.
Played
So
in New
it's a
Zealand.
different experience. And then also, I love how the
But he's
transition of the coaches, right? You have more NBA coaches that's down there working with these guys, putting them in NBA sets, getting them NBA ready, working on their body, keeping them around their NBA atmosphere. I always tell people, there's nothing that will get you ready like being in the NBA or being somewhere around the NBA. Well, that's the only thing that can.
Which is a great point. But the G League, I think the outsiders used to be seen as an insult. And it's not. It's an option.
Great.
And the development option there is a good one. It's not the only option.
Right.
College is a great one, especially now with NIL opportunities. And Overtime Elite is a good one. But we're seeing the G League starting to, you're having players catapult out of that right into the top of the draft.
Well, and development used to literally be in the name, in the title of the league. It's what it does. It's what we want to kind of continue to see that perk. You actually played in the G League.
I did. And you know, the other opportunity is
With
that
their like 30
you're able-
future first round
NBA
picks.
scouts are able to watch guys in the G League a little bit more, right? They're able to be around and go to games a little bit more when they're playing the opponents. Those guys are able to come to the games and watch the other players.
I haven't
And
seen a
think
big three
that's a
with two
great
white
thing,
dudes
too,
since the
for a lot of
80s.
guys that's going to the G League out of high school.
Well, we're going to maybe see a couple more guys, especially over the next couple of years, take that path through the G League to the NBA. While we've been chatting, the San Antonio Spurs, they have been on the clock. DeJounte
They're
Murray,
using
he's
all
had
5 of their
an
minutes.
incredible year. I mean,
That guy's a bull,
21.1
for sure.
points, 8.3 rebounds, 9.2 assists. By the way, all of those Kendrick Perkins are career highs. He led the NBA. I didn't know this. He led the NBA
Looking
with
for the pick?
138
No.
steals, first career All-Star selection. I mean, just an incredible season for him. What do you want to see the type of player he needs to be paired with in order to bring him to the next level?
You know what? I'm gonna stay with the
Is
big.
Pirtle still on the team?
Big Perk's going to stay
I'm gonna
with the
stay
big.
with the big
Shocking.
because here's why. When you look at when you have a point guard like Murray that's willing to not only create for himself but create for others, you need a dynamic roller. You need a live threat at the basket. You need a guy that's going to have your back and be able to anchor the pick and roll. You need a guy that when you get beat off the dribble, he's going to be there to protect the rim and have your back at the rim.
Big Perk, repping for the big. Maybe I'm the only one who thinks this is funny. Perk, what's your middle name?
Spurs, yeah.
Ladera.
His middle name is essentially Little. Big Little Perkins. Just say it.
I don't think Little is in play here.
I don't think it's in play. Who is in play for the San Antonio Spurs?
I think Jalen Durham, who we mentioned before from Memphis, is just a man-child. Long arms.
Really
Perk loves those.
I mean, he can block shots, rebound, run the floor, good short roller. He's in play. If you're talking about a big guy, we mentioned Mark Williams from Duke, one of the best shot blockers and rim protectors, guy who's a great lob threat. So there are a number of different options they would have. And if you wanted to go with a wing, I would think that Johnny Davis of Wisconsin would be the wing you'd go with there. A.J. Griffin also still on the board from Duke, who's arguably the best shooter on the board.
Well, and one of the things that I've said, I'm going to sound like a broken record by the end of the night, but this is such an incredibly deep draft, Jay. On any other given year, some of these guys, they may be drafted even higher than what we're seeing now, correct?
Absolutely. I think in other drafts, but you're looking at a bunch of different guys that have different skill sets.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for a big guy or all that, I think now you can start talking about need, but I'd still go with the best.
Who's the most likely to fall out of the lottery?
Best available players there: A.J. Griffin, Jalen Durham, Johnny Davis. There's so many, but we get to find out who it is. The
Johnny Davis could go right
NBA Commissioner Adam Silver is here to tell us who it is.
Did you look up Pirtle?
Yeah, he's the ninth pick in the 2022 NBA
He's not
draft.
created.
The San Antonio Spurs select Jeremy Sohan from Milton Keynes, England, and Baylor University.
I love that suit, bro. That's so neat. He didn't start for Baylor. That's
What a
wild.
wonderful moment for Jeremy
He won 6
Sohan
man of
and
the
his
year.
family. Hey, Kirk, would you dye your hair that color?
That's actually
You
wild.
know what? For the right price, I would. You know what I mean? I would.
Top 10 pick.
Try anything, but
Didn't even start. That's how good Baylor
Sohan's
is.
That's
backstory is unique. Both of his parents, they played
And he only averaged 9
college
points.
basketball in Oklahoma, but he actually grew up in England. His late father, Ryan Williams, played
But these other Baylor
professionally,
players
and so
that
his
didn't
mother.
go to the draft,
She had
bro.
Polish citizenship, so that allowed him to play for the Polish
Known for
national
different
team.
hair
And then at
colors at
Baylor,
Baylor.
he was known for just that. He was known for his different, unique hair colors. He contemplated
copying,
which one he was going with for the draft for a little bit. I like the blonde that he ended up with.
That's an interesting pick for them. I don't know about that.
Drafted after Quincy Miller in
Who's Baylor
2012. I love this. I just love this.
And they just picked up.
His mom's advice to him when he began to play, quote, be cheeky. How have we seen him be cheeky?
God damn it! I just saw
That's
that.
pretty good. My mom's advice was learn Italian.
Good pick, bad pick.
Jeremy Sohan is another one of these big.
It makes me think. I'll say this. It makes me think Bradley Beal's gone.
And really versatile on both ends of the floor.
It's
He can
Johnny
guard 1
Davis.
through 5. And
Let's not spoil it to our fans.
Matchup to 25% shooting when he was guarding him. So
It
he's
is.
got a great frame, a long reach, and he moves really smoothly laterally. And obviously north-south. He's got active hands, gets steals, and really good off the ball.
Let's just do post so
And
fast.
Scott Drew at Baylor used him as a point guard at times late in the season, but an active rebounder, averages about 9 rebounds.
Despite multiple
per
teams
36 minutes.
attempting to trade for
Played
Jaden
on the
Ivey, the
Polish
Pistons are expected to keep
national team. His offense, so he's still a little raw. He's got a ways to go, but Jeremy Sohan has a ton of potential.
Well, and you can see, excuse me, he's not headed to the Knicks. Spike Lee, what are we doing here? But the Knicks, they're coming up. Their
Wait,
pick
are they
is
trying
coming up
to
shortly. And also in the next segment,
say something?
Chet Holmgren.
Wait a
from
minute.
Gonzaga
Is there something we don't know?
Stay tuned for that.
What?
We'll be right back.
Hold on. Hold the phone.
There's nothing.
You sure?
A lot of people assume NBA players can reach anything, just like they assume they can't afford great insurance. But State Farm has rates that fit any budget.
Here you go.
Thanks, Junquan.
Here's your mustard.
How accurate have I been?
Let me tell you something else.
No.
Because I can reach it.
The surprisingly great race to fit any budget, like a good neighbor. State Farm is there. Call or click to get a quote.
I've got a lot of flips.
Verizon just gave us all a brand new iPhone 13.
So I had Jabari, or I had Chet at 1, he went 2. Kyle at 3, and he went 1.
We got iPhone
Jabari at 2, and he went 3.
Switch to
And I get 4, and he
Verizon.
went 5.
Ours was
Keegan Murray at 5, and he
He's
went
still
4.
got a shiny new one.
Jaden Sharp at 6, and he went
So
7.
Everybody gets the
Matheran
same
at
grade.
7, he
I
went
think
6.
that's the point.
Now
Johnny
everyone
Davis
can
at
get a new
8,
iPhone
he
13
went
on
10.
us on
Best
America's
Daniels
most
at 9, he
reliable
went 8.
5G network.
Can I have a phone?
For every customer.
Hey, you could get Ty right.
Everyone. To show the love.
Yeah.
It's still the
No.
refresh.
Yeah.
It's always a
No, it's Ty going
Power High with
Who's on the clock right now?
They talk with delicious pepper
Oh,
cheese
yeah, I
that
forgot.
never not with smoky.
Baja Chipotle sauce.
Yep. They're constantly refreshing.
Y'all get your own commercial.
Get Durant right.
There's a maniac who seeks to end us all.
The rest of them are still on the board.
Called Valkyrie the Guardians. And Jane.
Yo, let's go. J.D. Foster. Jane Foster. For Love and Thunder. Tickets on sale now.
That is true that I didn't want to play for Sacramento.
be, well, more you. So thank you. We hope you like your work.
Are you the one others rally around? Inspire soldiers. to
These
follow your
army
See your vision
commercials.
clearly, get there decisively. Explore more than 200
Think
careers at GoArmy.com.
Wow, I wonder who it's going to be.
The Edge Pizza from Pizza Hut is back. Loaded with toppings all the way to the edge of a thin and crispy crust.
Eat
I
Woj.
think I just blacked out and ate like 6 slices. Where am I? Am I on a Pizza Hut commercial? The Edge from Pizza Hut. No one out Pizza Hut.
The 76ers are discussing a 3-team trade with the Rockets and Trailblazers that would send Eric Gordon to Philly and Matisse Thybulle to Portland.
Woj supposed to.
No, JP posted it
Dogs
3
bring out the
hours
good
ago.
in us. Pedigree
Wait,
brings
so
out
what
the
is it
good in
again?
them.
You live here in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. Been a Nets fan since the early 90s.
Being a Black-owned business, our children get to see there's more than one way to be successful. Maybe they can do it one day too.
Champion Black businesses as we share the NBA Finals stage together.
There are some notable anniversaries that we need to take a look at here. James Worthy,
Tim
3-time
Anderson's
NBA
birthday.
champion, 7-time All-Star. That was 1982. And then we have David Robinson, 10-time NBA All-Star.
Dude.
Shaquille O'Neal. But this is the 1995 MVP. And let me just get out the way because he's a 2-time champion. And then it's Shaquille O'Neal, 4-time NBA champion. Just an easy 15-time All-Star who can also throw down and pull down the basket. Tim Duncan, 5-time NBA champion. He's a 2-time league MVP.
White Sox are so injured, they just
One of
pulled
the
the dude off
reasons
from Double A.
that I fell in love with basketball. And then there's Yao Ming, 8-time All-Star.
Overrated.
Take a look at what he can do. And then last, but certainly not least, let's get to the smidge.
I'm so
more modern.
serious. If I was
It's
7
Anthony
foot
Davis,
tall.
8-time All-Star. 2022 NBA champion with the Los Angeles Lakers. You can see it there. It was in the bubble. Strange time with virtual fans that were actually in the building. You didn't even pull down a backboard like that?
What kind of question is
All right, the answer is yes. All right, the pick is in. Let's get it to Commissioner Adam Silverson. Nerve.
With the 10th pick in the 2022 NBA Draft, the Washington Wizards select Johnny Davis from the University of Wisconsin.
Johnny Davis is headed to the Washington Wizards to team up with Bradley Beal and company. So
Interesting.
Johnny Davis, he was a 3-star recruit.
Bradley
in
Beal
high
and company,
school
but he declines
and
option.
entered the NBA after a remarkable season with the Badgers.
Okay, buddy.
He played with his twin brother Jordan. Johnny was the Big Ten player of the
So
year.
Jordan's
When I asked
just
him
not
to describe
good at
his game,
basketball.
he told
Jordan
me
Davis.
he's a versatile guard
Hold
that
up.
can score at all 3 levels. He just wants to compete and wants to help his teammates win. That's exactly what you want to hear if you are an NBA team.
Jalen Durant
Mitchell,
of the Knicks.
Devin Booker, Jimmy
Really?
Butler, that's who he patterns his game after game. Do you see any resemblances with those guys?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's accurate in his self-assessment there because he can score at all 3 levels, but he's especially effective in the mid-range. I think he's a complete player, but he's best when the lights really are brightest. Against top 25 opponents, Malik, he averaged 24 points a game, including 37 on the road at Purdue. He was fantastic at Indiana.
I love how they showed his highlights against Iowa State.
Wisconsin won on the road at all those places for the first time ever, largely because of
actually, I'm pretty sure
Davis and how he performed under those bright lights. He's got really good defensive instincts. He makes really good reads on the defensive end to shoot the gap and get steals, and he rebounds his position. You know, he's not a knockdown three-point shooter, but he can get his own, and he's a really good wing scorer.
All right.
Yeah, he got hurt. He had a whole 3 points in 11
It is your
minutes.
time. The time is now. Oh, see, look, the fans are in the building.
that was
They're
fun.
standing up. They are standing up in anticipation of who the New York Knicks are going to.
I feel like Knicks fans are like the most.
Is sitting. Let's
Whoever it is anyway.
Please don't fumble the bag. You're going to need security getting up.
all right, let's take a
shorts
look
are too
at
short.
how
My
exactly
shorts
we
are too
got
short.
here. One playoff series win in the last 22 seasons, and let me tell you, I was living in New York City at the time. The Garden was on fire when that happened. RJ Barrett, 20 points per game. That's a career high for him. So that's a bright spot for New York. Julius Randle, though, the former most improved player, 20 points per game, 24 points per game in the 2020-2021 season. So a little bit less productive there. Look, even the young fans, look, they're so young. They still have hope. They're excited. They are looking forward to the future. Bing bong. Do you get that reference, Jay? You get the bing bong reference.
I do.
Okay, I'm just making sure. I'm proud.
She said his shorts are too short. Said who? She said Jordan Davis. I thought she was talking about you when she texted me. She said Jordan Davis' shorts were too short.
The youngsters are like, well, but what about Anthony Davis? What happened before him?
Davis.
What happened before he
What? Yeah,
existed?
Johnny
Jake
Davis.
Kirk. The Knicks are on the clock. The Knicks fans are hanging on every word that we are about to hear. What do the Knicks need?
You know what? I feel like the Knicks need to add shooting. They need to add perimeter play.
Imagine they sign and trade for Kyrie.
I feel like is an up and
My mom said yes, I'm watching. I should have came with you. I said, okay, who's getting picked then?
Combo guy, a guard, in my opinion. You know, Kimball Walker didn't turn out to what they wanted him to be last season. I think you got.
I don't know how many rebounds per game Jordan Davis averaged.
The best season for the Knicks.
I mean,
if you want to continue to
nice.
do it in the right direction, you got to add shooting.
Davis.
Yeah, if you're adding shooting, you know, we've mentioned AJ Griffin, who shot 46% from three.
Vooch tweeted and said, I probably sound old, but what happened to nice, classy
I
suits?
think he's got a ton of upside. And another outstanding shooter is Ochai Agbaji from Kansas, national champion. I don't know if they would take him this high. But if they're looking for shooting, those are pretty good shooters.
Well, Kirk, you went away from your big. Oh my God! Clearly, the Knicks are on the clock because it just got a little bit louder in here.
You know what? I got tired of jinxing.
Is it in New York?
You know what I mean? I jinxed my big.
I think it's in Brooklyn.
Well, again, it's getting louder and louder in here because the Knicks are getting closer and closer to picking who is going to be in the Garden next season. You mentioned Kemba Walker. Obviously, the Knicks and Kemba Walker's camp decided that perhaps they weren't the best fit. Kemba Walker was just a consummate professional throughout the season, a locker room leader, but RJ Barrett seems to be the future of this team, Big Kirk.
He is, and he keeps getting better. The things that we say he can't do, he comes out the next season and he proves us wrong this season.
Hang on to your butts. The pick is in. Who are the New York Knicks going to take? Let's find out from NBA Commissioner Adam Silver.
Kennedy Chandler.
That would be awful. That would be the worst pick. Dude, I would take Ty Washington.
With the 11th pick in the 2022 NBA Draft, the New York Knicks select Usman Jang from Bordeaux.
He's a pick.
You've yet to get
They're
a pick.
booing him! Oh no!
Usman Jang is headed to the Knicks.
Did you hear that?
But don't worry, young man. That is just how they do it here in New York. They ride with you until the wheels fall off. Let me tell you a little bit about Usman Jang. He enters the league after
That's so
playing
sad.
at the Academy in Paris.
Jalen Durham's on clock,
Professional
though.
evaluators
We're on the
were
board.
moved to the NBL's Knicks Stars program. He had to compete against much older, more experienced pros to show a level of perseverance with his New Zealand Breakers because they were forced to play an entire season, Jay Billis, on the road in Australia because of COVID.
He's probably sad he got booed.
We always talk
That's so sad.
So what happens when you play for the Knicks? He'll be off the team in 3 years. They like to draft dudes, make them play horrible, and then trade them.
Senior NBA insider Adrian Wojnarowski.
True.
The Malika, the 11th pick is headed to
Stop
Oklahoma City.
talking.
The Knicks have traded Usman, the French forward who played for the New Zealand Breakers last season, to the Thunder. I'm told that the Knicks will get back multiple first-round picks.
No
moving
shot.
forward. And Oklahoma City is back on the clock at number 12.
So they're double draft. They're double
We
dipping.
can talk about some length now. Now you pair with Jang.
That's wild.
Chet Holmgren,
You know what they're
7'1"
doing, right?
wingspan, guard.
You know what they're doing,
guard,
right?
6'11"
They're gathering
here,
picks aside to trade for Kyrie.
Struggled a little bit the first half of the season. Can shoot the ball from three.
That's the first trade,
His
though.
length, his passing.
I want to know what the
This is
trade
an
was, though.
upside pick for the Thunder here.
Multiple
When you look
firsts.
at his last 10 games of
But,
the
like,
season in New Zealand,
this draft.
56% from three, 51% from the field. And here's another player that I got to sit down with and meet. And what he told me was he struggled the first couple months of the season because of COVID restrictions in New Zealand. He was basically locked in his room. And once he got a comfort level as far as to be out there, play basketball, which he loved, he really flourished. This is an upside pick, and now you've got two big guys with ultimate length here.
Coach, thank you. Usman Jang is headed to Oklahoma City, which means he is going to be teaming up with the guy who just sat down.
That's
to sit
wild.
Down next to all of us. That is Chet Holmgren, who is
They're
already
winning
to
the
Oklahoma
championship
City.
within the next
Congratulations,
Thank
Chet.
you very
5
much.
years.
How are you feeling? In
They're
this
giving
moment?
they have 12
I
also.
can't even describe it. I got 0 words for the 1,000 emotions that I'm having right now, but they're all very good.
Giddy,
Well, when you
Chet,
look towards Oklahoma City,
Shy.
what's your first reaction? What are you first and most looking forward to?
One, get in there, get into Oklahoma City, having my first.
Let's go to an Oklahoma City game next year.
For all
They're
the fans and the fan base.
I actually almost went to it.
I'm going to be representing.
It's
not bad, yeah, actually.
Get into work as soon as I can.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but our friend Big Perk, he played for the Oklahoma City Thunder, and also he is known for his famous pep talk. So, Big Perk, what do you got for the big fella?
You know what? I'm just going to tell you to be ready. I know that you are, and when I say be ready, when I think about the Oklahoma City Thunder, it's a first-class organization from top to bottom.
It's not even free agency yet.
When you talk about guys like Donnie Strack, who's in the athletic department,
I want to look
has put
at the
together
trade
not
details
only a
because
hell of a
I want to see the
facility,
thing.
but a hell of a staff, and you're going to love it. Just pay attention. Just listen to what they say. They're going to guide you in the right direction. I want to tell you this.
What do you make it out of
I
that?
played at 290 my entire career.
What?
When I got to Oklahoma, I was 255. So if I could, get in and put in the work, I know they're going to get you right.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever reach 290.
No, I don't want you to. I don't want you to. I promise you I don't. Don't do it.
Okay.
Did you
Imagine they get Jalen
did you
Durham,
know what
too.
was going to happen when you're sitting there when
Am I
the
missing
came out
something?
and
What?
called out Paolo first? Did you have any idea what was going to happen?
Saw who it was.
What was the feeling?
That's
like when
wild.
you heard that?
Don't
and
say
then
it.
heard
Don't
the
say it.
next
Oh
one?
my
Obviously,
God.
Paulo a hell of a player.
Don't say a word.
That's
Don't say a word.
wild.
Don't say a word.
There's nothing but
That's the worst pick so far.
I'm ready to get to work.
I'm reading that wrong. There's no way.
Where did you get the confidence in the swag?
Wait, so are they picking?
But like, when did you, when they finally hit that you was that guy? Because I love the way you play.
So what did they trade for Dieng?
I'm just, being me out there.
Okay, unless I'm looking at the wrong dude, there's two dudes with the same name. This is one of the worst picks I've seen.
Well, what did they trade for Dieng? Tell me that.
At this point, it's like a ritual. You can't
What
break
should
it.
we get?
So yeah, if he
I can look
needs
at
a
Bush.
new camcorder, I definitely think I'll be able to get that for him.
Is there a teammate that you are most looking forward to meeting in Oklahoma City?
I'm looking forward to meeting all of them, getting to work with all of them. Those are my new brothers. But I'm just speaking to Josh a little bit.
There's no shot.
So I'm definitely looking forward to finally meeting him.
What advice is he giving you?
Hasn't been so much advice yet as much as it has been just talk about the Thunder, what they are, and what he sees in me, and how we can play together.
Well, we're not exactly your dad in terms of recording
You know, I am
this
tripping.
process, but we do have a
Oh, you
little bit
are?
of behind the scenes. So just take a look over here.
Yeah, I am tripping. It's not as bad.
What do we think?
Still
What are we
reach.
recording
There's
here?
just
Is
two
this-
dudes
oh,
with the
it's
same
an
name.
ad?
It's
I gotta
slightly
get the hat on there.
I'm gonna know when I see it, but I don't know.
It's not. It's a reach,
So it's 3
but
to 4
not
on the back,
as
second number.
Okay.
3 4 has the 7. 7 was my number with USA when we won gold last summer. I'm big on betting on myself, so I had to put the dice on the thing.
You roll the dice, you bet on yourself. What number are you going with in Oklahoma City?
I don't know yet. Does anybody wear 34?
Well, if you do,
That's a dub.
bets that happen
34
in
is
the
a
NBA,
good number.
For players over who gets the number. If someone does, and I don't know off the top of my head, what are you
34.
willing to put on the line to get number 34?
I'm going to have to do some thinking about that.
I like this
Don't
dude.
worry, because we're going to be coming back
Absolutely.
and asking you, Chet Holmgren, congratulations. Thank you so much.
Oh, someone does have 34.
Oklahoma City, thank you for
Who?
putting this out.
Cambridge Williams.
And very smart not negotiating against yourself.
He's gonna
on
have
that.
Exactly. Don't negotiate.
He's gotta.
I'd give him 50 grand. That's what Sasuke gave up for number
All
1.
right, well, guess what? Another pick is
Yes, Caleb, I am ignoring you.
Find out who may be his next teammate. Let's head to NBA Commissioner Adam Silver.
I'm trying not to look at my phone because I don't want to see the picks.
I thought they picked a center, but
With the 12th pick in the
Scared.
2022
it's
NBA
not
draft,
that
the
bad.
Oklahoma
It's
City
just
Thunder select Jalen Williams from Santa Clara University.
I thought they picked the one from Arkansas.
An emotional
And I was like,
moment for
I don't even know
Jalen
who that
Williams
is.
and his
This dude?
family. The junior
No, I know who
ball
this
from
is.
Santa Clara.
He's kind of like a
He has
mystery.
wanted to be a professional ball player since he was 6 years old, and that is all
Yeah, look,
culminating
there's a Jalen
in this
Williams.
moment
It's,
as he is headed to the Oklahoma City
Yikes.
Thunder.
That's what I was looking at. I was like, there's no shot
Since
when
Steve
Jalen
Nash
Durant's on
was
the board.
taken 15th overall in the 1996
All right, we got
draft.
2 more
You can
picks.
see Steve Nash there.
2 more picks.
12 games he played with 20-plus points last season, tied for the second most in the WCC. Hey, that's my alma mater. What did we see in those games, Jay Billis?
Well, he's a guy
I've never
that's
watched
made
him,
a huge jump.
He's a big- he's a big guard,
Very
man.
productive. And, some people call
What's
him a late
his
bloomer, but he's
height?
continued to bloom throughout his
He's
basketball
tall.
life. He's 6'6", but he's got a 7'2" wingspan. Incredible length.
That's insane.
He's very skilled.
Him
Really
and
good
Shea are
in
going to be
catch-and-shoot
interesting
situations.
backcourt. They're both really
Shot
tall.
40% from 3. He's got an
How old is
excellent
Shea?
middle game, and he's really good in ball screens.
They're gonna have an entire starting lineup under
Good
25.
Oh, yeah,
setting it
that's
up. He
insane.
can go under, he can twist it, he can snake it.
And do they have another
excellent
first?
cutter without the ball, but it's just a really confident player that
They
plays
have
at
what?
both ends of the floor.
Another
Well,
first.
Oklahoma City,
Yes.
they just have so many picks. I want to show you entering
30th.
tonight the Magic 8-ball, not quite dice, but 2022, they have 3 first-round picks in this draft. Not to mention, through 2027, they have 18
Am I
first-round
missing
picks.
something,
That's
or-
the most in the NBA. And our Adrian Wojnarowski has referred to this as sort of the great experiment for Sam
The Mavs
Presti.
have a
Woj, why is
first-round
that?
pick or what?
But Malika,
Max?
just the
No, they don't.
investment
Yeah, it
that
just-
Oklahoma
that's
City has
confusing.
made
That's not
now
through yet, the trade.
in the NBA draft of gathering up assets and now turning them into young players. They're
It's on
just 2
ESPN. It still
years
says
into this rebuild, and you look now at the talent they gathered. Josh Giddey, their first-round pick last year, who had an outstanding rookie season, and
AJ
then
Griffin.
getting Chet Holmgren at number 2
my guess.
in this
You said
draft. In
AJ
addition
Griffin's
to
my guess.
Usman Deng,
No.
and now
Well,
Jalen
maybe. I
Williams
think probably
of
Jalen Durham.
Santa
I would go
Clara.
Jalen Durham. They don't have a legit
Sam
center.
Presti, Oklahoma City's GM, he scouted Chet Holmgren perhaps as much as any player he's got. That he has spent time
though.
with out on the road. That was absolutely their number one.
Ochai is
the
gonna
number
be
one
on the
player
board.
Ochai might be on the board
I think
for
that was
y'all. I
proven
didn't think it
when
was
I just-
possible,
Jabari
but
Smith was available.
He's
for
not
that
even
number
going to
2,
start. That's
and
the
they
only.
still stayed with Chet Holmgren. But you see now that
He'll
the
come behind.
athleticism, the talent, Shea
Shooting
Gilgeous
guard behind
Alexander, their
DeRozan.
young point guard at Oklahoma City. You can start. You
That
can
just
start now to see the shape
screws Cruz.
of a team that's going to be deep and talented. And
I would
still
trade back if
multiple
we could get it.
first-round picks now for the
Player.
next 2 years in salary cap space when they decide
Or I would
they
just
want to
completely
get back
trade it.
involved in free agency.
Woj,
Yeah.
thank you so much. Many first-round picks for the Oklahoma City Thunder. We'll see them on the board again at 30. That was a pick that comes from Phoenix. But now, the Charlotte Hornets, they are on the clock. They're looking for someone to team up with just a talented young core. LaMelo Ball, obviously one of the flashiest players today. Who are you looking at here?
I think Mark Williams with Duke could be an interesting pick.
He's not going to jinx him.
Am I going with the big guy thing with Purdue? But for a guy that can set ball screens,
The Hornets have a 13 and 15
with
pick?
LaMelo Ball being able to throw it up to him, and he's an elite rim protector.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of talk of Charlotte 13 and 15, maybe looking at Williams at one of those two spots.
I want to just put a little bit of context for the Charlotte Hornets here. LaMelo Ball, he was the 4th youngest All-Star ever.
Lonzo,
20
Levine,
years old,
DeMar, KD,
along
and
with
Gobert.
Magic, LeBron,
It's
and
the Bulls
Kobe.
starting
So
five
let's
next
look
year.
at a little bit of a timeline here for where exactly the Charlotte Hornets are. What I just mentioned, the 4th youngest All-Star starter ever, and he absolutely earned it. But they lost early in the East play-in for the 2nd straight season, so not exactly where they wanted to be. They hired Kenny Atkinson as head coach, but we know that has not come to fruition. He decided to stick with the Golden State Warriors after winning an NBA championship. And then there's Miles Bridges, right? 20.2 points per game. He is a restricted free agent, so we'll be monitoring that closely. I have said it before. To me, when I look at the Eastern Conference, in the last couple of years, we've been talking just about how talented the East is, how much they are making strides towards sort of what we thought is the power conference of the West. But now I sort of see the Boston Celtics, the Milwaukee Bucks, they stand above them all. The Brooklyn Nets have a lot of question marks. When you look at some of the Philadelphia 76ers, they have a lot of question marks. What do you see for the Charlotte Hornets here?
Well, just remember, they were right there. They were right in the play-in tournament. And look, you had to have.
I agree.
I
think it
4
should be
games
there.
above 500 this season. So they played winning basketball. They played together, and I love what Michael Jordan and everybody in the organization has done for us, giving the keys to LaMelo Ball. This guy's the ultimate playmaker. He's so unselfish. He makes people around him better.
It should
like
be.
Jay said,
I figured
I'm
it
still
was.
looking for the trade.
live threat and rim protector. They
You
need
gonna
that guy to
Went
match
to
up
Woj
the
and
point
Shams,
with the
nothing.
point guard LaMelo to be able to roll, and now he can hit the shooters and those
They may not know the
guys
details
that are
yet.
spot up in the corner.
And they've made really good incremental progress. They were 10 games above the prior year 2 years in a row, which is hard to do. I mean, I was surprised they let go of James Borrego. I would not have done that, but
A lot of people where I was.
you serve at the pleasure of your employer, but I was surprised by that. They do need a coach and quickly get the right next person. But I agree. I think Williams is an interesting choice.
Well, and it's so important, right, to have the right head coach, especially for young players, a young franchise. We saw that with Willie Green with the Pelicans. He made an immediate impact in changing that culture. Accountability was a big word that he used over and over. Obviously, coming from the Monty Williams coaching tree, that's incredibly important. So let's see if they get that. They have to get that right first. They also have to get the pick right. The pick is in, so let's head to NBA Commissioner Adam Silver to see who is headed to Charlotte.
With the 13th pick in the 2022 NBA Draft, the Charlotte Hornets select Jalen Durham
Wow.
from the University of Memphis.
First center off the board.
That's a good pick. No, Chet.
Jalen Durham
I think Chet's. He could be a
headed to the
4, I
Hornets.
guess.
They had him listed as a 4.
I
And
wouldn't
Jay,
play.
he may be
Guess who he lost
the
to this
most
year?
physically gifted
Iowa State.
big man in this draft.
Well, we talked about him being a man-child. I mean, he is physically imposing. A guy who's 6'11" with a 7'5" wingspan. Solid rebounder, a very good rim protector. You know, we talked about Mark Williams being a lob threat. So is Jalen Durham. He led the AAC in rebounds. He had 3
such a
offensive
beast,
rebounds
dude.
per game. He can go get the ball and get you extra possessions. He catches everything with those right hands, and he dunks everything. And I think he's a pretty good passer, especially out of the high post. He's been limited as a shooter, and he's a poor free throw shooter, but very, very talented.
Yep, absolutely. And I kind of look at him like a Bam out of the bio.
Bam out of the bio.
Yes, absolutely. I look at him as a guy
had
that's
2
a rim
points.
protector, versatile defender that can switch 1, 2, 5. And we talk about being a lob threat at the basket.
He had
Going
7
dribble
against
handoff
Gonzaga.
actions. rolling to the basket, opening it up for other people, and he's a pretty good.
He's all right.
Well, one thing that we talked about earlier is how much experience in playing against men can matter. And one of the reasons that he chose Memphis, right, was because of the experienced head coaching staff that had guys like Penny Hardaway, Larry Brown, Cody Topper, Rasheed Wallace. But guess what? He's headed to the Pistons. So that's just in. He will be headed to the Pistons according to Adrian Wojnarowski. So he is on the move as the Cavaliers.
What's up with that? They don't do that in the NFL, bro. They draft you, you're on the team. NBA is like they draft you. Nah, sorry.
Team that I am most excited.
Imagine getting drafted and then like just being told that you got traded.
I'm just like in shock. I'm like, what?
The Pistons are gonna be good too. It's crazy.
Big men. Look at this turnaround for them. Just absolutely incredible. So Darius Garland, Jared Allen, who used to play in this building, the Pro. They were named All-Stars. Evan Mobley, runner-up for Rookie of the Year. You liked him for Rookie of the Year, Big Perk.
I did. I mean, excellent shot blocker. He really knows the game really well.
Yeah.
Great feel, great touch.
Wait, who got traded?
Basket athletic, runs the floor. But you know what? Shout out to Kobe Allman, Brandon Weems, the front office over there in Cleveland. The way that they turned this around.
The Knicks are trying to trade
Coach
Jaden
staff, getting him in place, and then the culture, right? We haven't seen this type of culture.
Pistons are going. I want to know what they had to give up.
The way that they played.
Probably like a 30-58 first round pick.
I like the Pistons. I like the Pistons.
Well, they were run down. They were hurt at that point in the season. You know, Jared Allen worked all the way to get all the way back in order to be even appearing in those games.
They got the pieces now. They just gotta
do you think, Jay, that'll take them over the top?
Well, I don't know about the piece that takes them over the top. They still have, I think, a long way to go. But if they're looking for shooting, the guys I would target
Shams said he's going to the Knicks.
Who I think is going to be an outstanding player, and I happen to think is undervalued. You know, you've seen Ochai Agbaji mentioned.
Yeah, he's going to the Knicks. Yeah, this guy tweeted and said, "Okay, you and Woj saying different things," and then someone said Woj taking Nelson.
You want a starting five.
Someone said he's playing 41 games.
I think they have to pick a wing at this slide, right? You think they already got elite guard play. We don't know what the future holds for us with Colin Sexton, but we do know that you have a young star in Darius Garland. We do know that.
So which one is it?
Is a young star on the
announced DeJounte Murray to the Timberwolves.
I mean,
someone said that.
Once he got situated,
that would be awful.
To the floor things, he was pretty great for him.
Okay, he's one of the
Pistons. That two-way defender, right? Now you want a guy that you could just plug in, gonna play his role.
Nope. Oh my God! What? Knicks acquired Jalen Durham and moved him with Kemba Walker to the Pistons.
Whoa!
Let's see what Woj says.
Whoa! Wait. So then is New York getting Jaden Ivey?
Oh, well, I just saw who they picked. You got one pick, right?
Yeah, I got it.
Maybe even making one of those super runs, finishing.
Wait, so then is Ivy then going to the Knicks? Is that what's going on?
I'm so confused because Woj still says Durant to the Pistons.
Your best available, Jay.
Cleveland is locked in on
still AJ Griffin up there. He's probably
Agbaji
on the board along with Ochai Agbaji. But you mentioned Malachi Branham, Mark Williams still available. I don't expect Cleveland to take a big guy here.
Dude,
Charlotte
NBA Twitter is live.
15 next if they wanted it.
He tweeted 1 minute ago and has 3,000 likes and 1,300 retweets with 400
really good
replies.
defender, really long arm and athletic.
Well, the pick is in. We do not expect it to be another big, but we shall see. NBA
Someone said owned by Woj. Did the Knicks get Ivy? Low key, Nets playing chess. I'm mad confused, bro.
Wait, so the Knicks got Jalen Durham and moved him to Milwaukee.
2022 NBA draft. The Cleveland Cavaliers select Ochai
That
Agbaji
I'm hurt,
from the
bro.
University of
Y'all
Kansas.
still get AJ.
So
Okay, y'all can still get AJ Griffin, Mark Williams. There are so many players on the board that y'all can get.
If we do pick, I want 5 now. Alright, that was the last pick. We're gonna stay on for a couple more.
I think we'll end it. All right, guys. Hope y'all have fun. It was an interesting draft, and it's going to keep going, but this is all for us. And we'll see you guys next time.